Hi, my name is Marina Strauss, and in this video I will be discussing my journey through ENC 1102, from when I enrolled in the class to building my final portfolio. When I signed up for ENC 1102, I didn't really know what to expect. I had heard that all my writing throughout the semester builds up to create one big assignment. However, I had no clue that I would have to work as hard as I did to accomplish these assignments. I'm an engineering major, and a second English class was the last thing I wanted to focus on when I had science and math classes to worry about. I've always been told that I am a good writer, so I figured I would have no problem writing for this class. My goal for ENC 1102 was to pass with an A to keep my GPA up, because I thought that I would just learn everything I already learned in ENC 1101. As the semester began and we got our first writing assignment, I realized that this class was going to definitely require effort and skills that I had not practiced in ENC 1101. I quickly decided that my new goal for the course was going to be to successfully relate texts to each other in order to support and create an informative research paper that flowed well. When I first began my research, I chose a community that participated in a large amount of online communication. I wanted to study how this large group of people use the different aspects of social media for communication and organization. I found primary sources within the community that portrayed the different ways that the community used Facebook specifically. To accomplish my goal of relating text to support my research, I also found secondary sources that supported the points I made in my research. These secondary sources were texts such as scholarly articles and reports on previous studies that contained information which related to my own research. By finding and using secondary and primary sources together throughout my research this semester, I was able to find relevant information in all of them and relate the different texts to one another. Here is an excerpt from my final analysis where my primary source is an example of a point discussed in one of my secondary sources. This is a post from Eddie Tweeford in the Real Knights Facebook group about a game he made up. The idea behind this post is to bring a fun little challenge to the members of the club to be awarded at the next meeting. Although it is informal, it is still a post that encourages involvement from the members in the community. Even just little things like this are great ways to keep members interested and involved in the club. Participating in things like this on social media allow for connections to be made, like what Timothy Briggs discussed in his video blog called Writing a Professional Life on Facebook. Facebook can be very useful in organization, communication, and making connections. However, this only works if people actually participate in their online communities, then take their interactions to the real world to achieve a purpose or goal of some kind. Although I think I ended up making good connections within my research in the final draft, I definitely struggled to get there. Through peer reviews, I gained a lot of great advice on how to improve the writing I had done so far. This piece of feedback I received from one of my peers on my first two source annotations was very helpful to me in making connections in my research. I think you did a good job explaining what the article discusses, and I like that you explained that their major topic isn't in relation to yours, but that you'd still be using some specific details the reading has to offer. Then I like how you started explaining some of the details that related, but then I honestly lost the connection when you brought your study into it. What is Real Knights? Maybe include an introduction explaining what it is. Tips like this from one of the peer reviews really helped me to improve my writing and form my research paper. The feedback on the annotated bibliography assignment especially helped because the rest of my research paper related back to my annotated bibliography. When I added multimodal aspects to my web text with a color scheme and my community's logo, I made my research look more interesting to the audience at first glance. I was successful in accomplishing my goal of creating a research paper that used different sources to support one claim, although in the end my analysis was discussing a topic that strayed from the path I was supposed to be on. I feel that I learned more about how to stay on track for my next research paper by making the mistake this time. Through the semester-long process of writing this paper, I learned how to analyze, how to relate concepts, and how to give meaningful and useful feedback to my peers. Although this assignment took a lot of time and effort, I definitely learned a lot from it. This was probably the most beneficial English class I've taken at UCF.